Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. On a day like today where there has been obviously some very extreme volatility, which is normal for crypto, I thought it would be fun to take a look down memory lane. Here's an article from over 5 years ago from Bitcoinist, of course, because where do you go when you think, man, I want to go to the most reputable, trustworthy, truth-laden source for all things XRP? What do you think? Oh, same as me. I think of Bitcoinist.com, right? They're going to have all the XRP stuff, the Bitcoinist website, right? There we go. Well, look at what we got. Here's the sage wisdom. And so on a day where there's no shortage of negative sentiment and the doomsayers, oh, they're back in force yet again, just want to remind you that they're going to continue to be wrong. All you have to do is let enough time pass, and then reality smacks him in the face. Look at this headline from over 5 years ago from Bitcoin. It's the most trustworthy, reliable source for everything XRP. The title is, XRP won't see $1 again. Here's why. Now this thing, oh, this bitch has aged like a fine milk. This article, oh, this bitch, it has aged like a fine milk. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So for fun, let's go ahead and run through this so that you can understand that whatever, even if you're, like, maybe you're a little bit scared today, in which case, that's, I get it, you know, humans are human. At least you don't have XRP derangement syndrome, right? That would be much, much worse. So if you're feeling fearful, I just want to let you know there's going to be all sorts of people pumping negative sentiment, but you're going to get that all the damn time. And the people that say XRP doesn't make sense, it's wrong, it's not useful, again, reality just will always catch up with them. It smacks them in the face, and then we just go on with our lives. It's very obvious that XRP is one of the most useful cryptocurrencies in history. Piece reads as follows. The XRP digital coin, distributed far and wide by Ripple Inc., is among the most talked about assets on social media. But despite the highly active community and the millions of coins given away, XRP is stuck beneath 30 cents. There you go. How many of you at this point would just, like, you'd give like a vital human organ to buy XRP under 30 cents? I know some of you crazy bitches out there. But think about this. Like, there was this fear. And yeah, the community was big back then. It's way bigger now. Way, way, way bigger now. And of course, the Ripple distributing crap, dumping on the market. Actually, more on that a little bit later in the video. It's complete and utter garbage. In fact, if you look at the increase in circulating supply, the way that it's calculated on like CoinWatch and CoinMarketCap, which is the standard effectively for the community, it is not so bad as you might think. But again, more on that a little bit later in the video. But, you know, Ripple didn't even create XRP. It's just this false narrative that people like this want to propagate. They did back then, and they still do today. Here's the subheading. XRP went to extraordinary peak values. Oh, Lord, this is a real thing. XRP reached a peak above $3.65 back at the start of 2018 before starting its deep crash, losing more than 90% of its value. The peak prices were achieved under the impression that the token would gain adoption and easily command $5 prices, at least until it shot up to $500 when it completely destroyed Bitcoin. But others believe XRP is stuck and will not go above $1. So this is somebody who is gleeful that XRP has come back down. Now, the $5 price target, like, yeah, that would have been crazy for that market cycle. If XRP ever hits three digits, which is certainly technically possible, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But yeah, it's possible, sure. I'm not going to make a prediction on that, but yeah, I absolutely acknowledge it's not like a crazy thought if you're talking about some longer period of time. Not this cycle, certainly. Certainly not last cycle. That was crazy too. But yeah, so losing 90% of the value, that was true. That's true of like every crypto. Like, how many times has Bitcoin lost at least 80% of its value? I don't recall the exact number off the top of my head, but like over 4 or 5 times, right? At least. I'd have to look it up again. But the point is, it's normal, and it does happen, and it's happened to XRP. And the more that a coin grows and the more money gets pumped into it, the less volatile it becomes. And so the percentage sways will decrease over time. That's true of Bitcoin. Of course, it'll be true for anything else that's going to have long-term staying power. And that's fine. But for these people that said it was never going to go above $1 ever again, based on what? Because And here's the thing that this trips up so many Bitcoin maxis. Like they'll scream at it, calling it the banker's coin. And then all you have to say is to them, because they've never thought about it like this, all you have to say is, oh, okay. But so Bitcoin makes sense. Yeah, store of value, the perfect money, blah, 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 blah. That's what they sound like to me, little bitch asses. And so you have to say, oh, okay. So what is it that Bitcoin can do that XRP cannot do? And they haven't thought about it. So the answer is nothing. But if you reverse that, and it's like, what can Bitcoin do that XRP can't do? I mean, well, think about it like this. So Bitcoin rather, it's effectively the pet rock of the crypto space. I don't know who first said that, but it's funny. And it is true that technologically advanced cryptos, way more technologically advanced cryptos, came after Bitcoin. There's tons of stuff that XRP can do that Bitcoin cannot. And that's why there's a company called Spin the Bits that actually tokenizes Bitcoin so that you can move it as fast as you can move XRP. And it actually works. It's not some sort of science experiment. It's in production today. It actually works. So you can fulfill Satoshi Nakamoto's vision of moving Bitcoin just lightning fast speed as a peer-to-peer cash system. But you need to use XRP Ledger as though it's a layer 2 technology, even though of course it's layer 1, and because you can tokenize, and that fixes the problem. You don't even need Lightning Network. You just tokenize it on the XRP Ledger, and it just works. And see, that's something that helps to ensure the long-term viability of XRP and Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin maxis still hate it, even though it's actually good for them. Anyway, Peace continues. The coin is among the worst performers in 2019, failing to recover to a higher price range. XRP peaked above 47 cents in July and has been sliding ever since. In the past few months, the number 3 crypto has been held down below 30 cents. And folks, this is what you get for focusing on short-term price action. And it's like the sentiment. When it keeps going down, people think it's just going to keep doing that. When in reality, when there's that level of price suppression, that's optimal, the optimal time to purchase. Like that's the point of, optimal exposure, maximum opportunity, right? And then the subheading, why it won't see $1 again. Oh, this should be good. XRP will never recover against Bitcoin. And folks, now mind you, this is extra hilarious. And I've been highlighting this a lot over the last couple of weeks. If you go back and purchase, if you could time travel 11 years ago and purchase Bitcoin, and you could purchase XRP, say you purchase both, XRP will have outperformed your Bitcoin for the last 11 years now. XRP will never recover against Bitcoin? That's rather interesting, but let's see what they wrote 5 years ago. XRP is currently at around the 3,000 Satoshi range, down from a peak of 19,000 Satoshi. It is highly improbable that enough people would sell Bitcoin to buy XRP. It's hilarious. Its price rarely moves in line with new announcements, and Bitcoin attracts significantly more investors. Bitcoin has established itself as the leader, and Ripple's token, it's Ripple's now. The Ripple's token simply does not inspire enough confidence. Okay. And it's fascinating that they say that because there are only 3 coins that have always been around in the top 10 coins by market cap their entire existence. It's Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. And XRP's been around longer than ETH. I believe ETH was launched, I want to say it was 2015. And then XRP was publicly available in the beginning part of 2013. So that kind of staying power is exceedingly rare. But of course, Bitcoin maxis didn't want to address that then they still don't now. It's just price go down, mean that XRP doesn't actually do anything useful. Blah, 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 blah. That's what typical lemming retail speculators believe, and this is the tripe published on Bitcoinist. Anyway, they continue. Selling pressures. This is hilarious. The Ripple company constantly unlocks XRP and sells it in monthly tranches. True, the sales are happening on OTC markets, but are not leading to price slippage. But there are simply too many XRP tokens going around, with multiple giveaways to banks, companies, or individuals. Oh, folks, there's too much XRP. Now, mind you, the whole time from this, before this article and up to this point, they only sell a certain percentage, and it's a fraction of a percent for any given time period. You can see it in the quarterly reports as they've reported throughout history, effectively. And you can see the transactions on the blockchain, so you don't have to take their word for it. But it's always been a small percentage of global transactions, right? That's what it's actually been. And despite that, because Ripple kept selling at the same pace, despite that, XRP hit an all-time high in January of 2018. And then after falling, Ripple kept doing the same thing for another half a decade. And wouldn't you know it, January 2025 rolls around, Ripple's still selling the same amounts, and we still hit a new all-time high. And that's because Demand matters way more than a small increase in supply. In fact, there have been many years throughout history where the increase in circulating supply was bigger for Bitcoin than for certain years for XRP. That's just a fact, and they just want to pretend like that's not the case. Anyway, piece continues. Then there is the escrow of Ripple itself, the stash of co-founder Jed McCaleb, who is selling almost constantly, as well as an undisclosed settlement with R3. Okay, the R3 thing, I don't want to get into, it's too into the weeds for the purposes of this video. That's been settled. You can Google it if you're curious. As far as Jed McCaleb, who had a large quantity of XRP, they were counting, see, you can see it here. They were always saying this. Jed McCaleb suppressing the price of XRP. You know what happened as soon as he sold his last XRP years ago? Nothing. Because, and I insisted this for years leading up to this, I was like, he's selling, it's a tiny percentage of the overall market, so on any given day, the market doesn't even notice it, and then he ran out of his XRP, he sold it all, and the market didn't budge. Wouldn't you know it? Duh! This is obvious stuff here, but here, this is the genius wisdom you get from Bitcoinist.com. But they're calling it oversupply. Check this out. With that type of oversupply, the asset is simply not scarce enough to boost prices. Oh, it's not! Then explain the all-time high we just hit a couple weeks ago, you idiot sticks. Idiots from the past. Anyway, according to the figures, there are still a further 220 monthly tranches of 227.3 million XRP tokens to release as sold by Ripple. And then the use case. Oh, this is golden here. No robust enough use case, which they mean to write not robust enough use case. And it should be use cases, but they're pretending like there's one. Okay, Ripple has been careful about disclosing the facts around the real necessity of XRP. And it's so funny, they never look inward about their beloved Bitcoin. They never say this stuff about Bitcoin. Has Satoshi revealed, disclosed the facts about the real necessity of Bitcoin, the pet rock of crypto? Do they ever look inward and be like, their precious little Bitcoin, do they ever question it like that? Because what does it do? It turns out people just like the attributes that it offers, right? Which are the same attributes that XRP offers, because understand that XRP was created by early Bitcoin developers. And they love Bitcoin, but they saw some shortcomings in terms of scaling over the long haul, so they wanted to build a better version of Bitcoin, and they did that with XRP. They succeeded. That's why it's still here after all this time and thriving. But anyway, they like to pretend that Ripple was the only company that could ever have a use case with XRP. Then what the hell's the use case for Bitcoin then? Because Jack Mallers creating Strike, which is trying to copy what Ripple was doing, he didn't come around until like a decade after Bitcoin was launched, or maybe a little more. Anyway, they continue. The RippleNet ecosystem is built so it can handle transactions without using XRP, neither for payment or as a carrying vehicle. Hence, the hope that banks will mop up the token to use in their transactional activity is actually never happening. XRP will likely only be used as its die-hard fan base, and its price would be set based on speculators of a handful of exchanges. Okay, so I don't want to get, it's too far in the weeds for the purposes of this video. I've spent so many videos over the years, so many hours explaining this. But what they don't understand is that payments are different than settlement. And so payments are basically just the messaging side of the the legacy finance system. But when you're talking about settlement, that's the actual movement of money. And that's where using XRP as a bridge currency makes sense. So yes, you can have the messaging portion without XRP, but then you're just using Nostra Vostra accounts, which just means money parked in banks on various points around the world. And so they have these bilateral banking relationships, but that doesn't solve for the liquidity issue. That's what XRP is for. And so here, this is just a clear demonstration of somebody who doesn't understand that when they wrote this article 5 years ago, or they're just lying. But this is what you'd consistently see. And so I did the research early on. I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's just one more reason to be optimistic, because that's a use case for XRP as a bridge currency. And then they wrote, as Korean traders lost their enthusiasm and taste for risk, XRP is seeing lower trade activity. ZB.com remains the leading exchange, although it's been regularly reported that this particular platform heavily wash traded its volume, so we can't know for sure. But even with volumes above 1.66 billion in 24 hours, the token has lost much of its appeal, and a jump to $1 is highly improbable. Well, today I have the pleasure of telling you that XRP has crashed from its new all-time high of $3.39 down to $2.59, and it's currently at $2.71 as I record this. So it was highly improbable to hit $1. Or maybe you're an idiot stick and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, and your stupid little article on Bitcoinist has aged like a fine milk. Maybe it's that, actually. And then we get crap like this. This is from Haley Lennon. She's an attorney who insisted that XRP was a security, disastrously wrong on that point, and highlighted it in multiple videos, so it's on the internet forever. I'm very happy for that. And she's still just she has XRP derangement syndrome. She just does. Fairly large following, 97,000 followers now. And she wrote the other day, XRP people want to talk about BlackRock and Satoshi. BlackRock holds 2 to 4% of Bitcoin, and it's mainly their customers' funds. Satoshi's wallets hold 5%, and it's never moved or been sold. Ripple owns 45 to 55% of XRP supply, and executives often sell. And so former Ripple employee Matt Hamilton responded and said, I would have thought a lawyer would understand the concept of escrow. No. And he's saying that because almost all of Ripple's XRP holdings are locked up. So, Credible Crypto highlighted a post from Crypto Arsenal here. Credible Crypto wrote, a lot of those statements are factually incorrect, but the most damning one is your last point. If Satoshi wakes up tomorrow, he could dump more of the total Bitcoin supply on the market than Ripple could dump XRP. A majority of the XRP Ripple owns isn't accessible to them. They couldn't dump it if they wanted to. What they can actually dump is less than what Satoshi could. Now, this is inconvenient for Bitcoin holders who want to crap all over the XRP community, but this is true. So here's the screen grab from Crypto Arsenal, who might be the first one to have pointed this out. And here's what he wrote. He's referencing somebody else in another post, Santiago Velez, I'm sure is who he's referencing. He says, Santiago nailing it once again. Hence why I often point out that at any one time, Ripple controls less percentage of the supply than they could sell at any time than Satoshi. Ripple has 4.76 billion XRP, which is 4.76% of the total supply. Satoshi has 1.1 million Bitcoin, which is 5.55% of the total supply. So if you want to talk about a risk from another party that could just dump on the market and wreck your damn life, well, there you go. And of course, it wouldn't actually necessarily wreck your life, but I'm just saying. The numbers are the numbers. But these people are just never going to learn. It is what it is, folks. It's just there are a bunch of toxic Bitcoin maximalists out there. And, using logic and reason are very difficult for them. They want a one-coin world, and it's never going to be. And as long as XRP continues to be useful, it's just going to be here. And you just keep seeing more utility and more developers building things around the entire XRP ecosystem. So all the stupid crap people are writing today, I'll be happy to come back in another 5 years and highlight that, because it's going to be funsies for a YouTube video, because these people are damn idiot sticks. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.